The year is 1793. France is in chaos. The revolution has thrown the country into a storm of violence and uncertainty. Royalists rise against the Republic, and the city of Toulon, a key naval port, has opened its gates to the British fleet, inviting foreign invaders to crush the revolution. France is on the verge of collapse, but from this turmoil emerges a young artillery officer who will soon change the course of history. Welcome to CS History Anon. Today, we'll dive into the Siege of Toulon, the event that laid the foundation for Napoleon's journey to conquer Europe. Toulon, a stronghold of Royalist defiance. The city was a jewel of the Mediterranean, home to France's largest naval base. But now, it was in enemy hands. British, Spanish, and Neapolitan forces had taken control, and if Toulon was lost, France's southern coast would be open to further invasions. The fate of the Republic hung in the balance. With only 24 years, Napoleon Bonaparte, a junior officer in the French army, was sent to Toulon. He was unknown, unproven, and hungry for glory. But within these city walls, he would demonstrate the brilliance that would one day crown him emperor. Napoleon wasn't the commanding general, but from the moment he arrived, he saw the fatal flaw in the French strategy. The Republic's generals were hesitant, too focused on prolonged, clumsy assaults. Napoleon had other ideas. He studied the enemy fortifications and realized the key to victory lay not in capturing the city itself, but in targeting the British fleet anchored in the harbor. At the heart of Toulon's defense was a fortified hill, Fort Mulgrave. It was heavily defended by British forces and bristled with artillery. We must seize the heights, and the enemy will no longer be able to resist. From there, Toulon will be ours. At the time, Napoleon was a relatively unknown officer from Corsica. He had recently transferred to the army of the Republic after his family fled their home island. His reputation as a skilled artilleryman brought him to the attention of General Jean-François Carteau, who was leading the Siege of Toulon. When Napoleon arrived, he quickly realized that the army's artillery was poorly positioned and inefficient. He knew that to break the siege, they would need to control the high ground and dominate the enemy's defenses from above. Control of this high ground would give the French the power to bombard the harbor and drive the British ships away. Without their navy, the enemy's position would collapse. The British and their allies knew the hill's importance and had fortified it with everything they had. Napoleon, however, saw through the fog of war. He carefully positioned his own artillery, aiming for the weak points in the enemy's lines. On the night of December 17th, Napoleon's plan was put to the test. Cannon after cannon roared, the ground shaking as the French launched their assault. French forces, led by Napoleon's artillery, stormed Fort Mulgrave in a daring nighttime assault. The fighting was brutal. French soldiers charged uphill under a hailstorm of musket and cannon fire. The air was thick with smoke, the screams of the wounded echoing in the night. But Napoleon's strategy worked. Inch by inch, the French forces clawed their way up the hill. And when they reached the top, the enemy crumbled. The British fleet, under constant bombardment, could no longer hold their position. The once impregnable defense had been shattered. British Admiral Samuel Hood, commanding the British fleet at Toulon, said, "Our position is untenable, and we must abandon the port before it's too late." Within days, the British and their allies retreated from Toulon, their ships fleeing the harbor. The city fell back into the hands of the French Republic. The victory was complete, and the once unknown artillery officer became a hero overnight. His bravery and genius had saved the Republic's southern flank. But the price of victory was steep. Thousands lay dead in the streets. and Napoleon himself was wounded during the final assault. Yet, it was in this blood-soaked victory that his legend was born. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, subscribe and see you at the next video.